Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jay here, and it's Thursday on the Baby Beaver Bunch. I'm going to try and get this done in one take, so let's start. This week it is it's National Coming Out Month, I think. I don't know, it's something like that. And so basically on the Baby Beaver Bunch we're going along with that theme and just offering advice and whatnot, and this week is advice on coming out. So, basically, I think there are I'm going to simplify it as much as I can really think. There are three sort of things like that I associate coming out with. There's coming out to your friends, coming out to your family, and then coming out in a workplace or a school environment, just as a really simple thing. I'll start with friends first. With friends, I feel as if it should be a really simple thing. Your friends they probably would have a general idea if you are gay or whatever, trans or whatever. Like, they would probably know, that, your friends are pretty intuitive, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're close with them, then they should pretty much know what's going on with you and, what you're thinking and stuff, even without you having to say it. True friends will always be there for you, and so you should never keep anything from them, and if for some reason they do react badly, then they're obviously not, they're not really good friends, are they? It can be a hard, thing to realize or just kind of accept, and, if you do tell a friend that you're gay and they react badly, then you don't change for them, and they're just going to have to try to understand and accept, who you are, and that, it's just something that isn't a choice, and that's pretty much what they need to understand. And if they're of the same sex, they are pretty ignorant on the matter, they also pretty much just need to be told or reminded that, just because you're a friend and the same sex doesn't mean that, you're going to jump on them at any time or whatever, which is a really, really weird, silly misconception. I've never understood that. But anyway, so friends, yeah, if you come out to if you tell a new friend or, a whole group of friends, if you're finally ready to sort of let it, not take control of your life, but be a massive part of your life, with all aspects of, friends, family, work, school, then, then they shouldn't care. And if they do, then perhaps they're not, your real friends. Secondly, that's your family. Now, the family is probably the biggest thing, because it's not like you can choose, you can choose who you to keep within your circle of friends, and you can choose where to work or go to school ultimately. So your family is probably the hardest, because you're kind of stuck with them. I think the best thing is to figure out exactly what their mindset is, and before you tell them, because if you're young and you tell them and they're not happy, someone's calling me, whatever, then you just have to soldier on. If that makes sense. Sorry, that was a total tangent. I got confused because of my call. If they're cool with it, then tell them in a way that isn't gonna shock them. Tell them in a safe, fine environment. Not at a dinner table or anything. It doesn't have to be something where you sit down, you say, "Mum and Dad, brothers, sisters, whatever, I'm gay." Or I'm trans or whatever. You don't need to sit them down and tell them, because it isn't that big a deal. It's not like you guys sit down, "I've got cancer." It is just it's who you are. And again, with family, they should know, they should have a general idea of what's going on with your sexuality and gender, or, if you feel like you're in any trouble, they should ask. If they don't ask, if they seem really uninterested and that they're not comfortable with any form, homosexuality or anything that fits under the LGBT umbrella, then don't tell them. I know that it can be something you want to do. You want them to know who you are and what you're going to do with your life. But at the same time, you have to consider, especially if you're young, you need to live with your family and really get along with them. And something like that isn't worth that much hassle, because it can really affect a lot of other things. So, just don't tell them. It's just, it's not worth it. If they are cool with it, then you should tell them, and I'm sure they'll be fine. A lot of parents, initially, they're kind of a bit worried about it, but then they get over it and they move on. They accept it, because parents who truly, you know, mother and father you, or mother or father for whatever you know, they accept you for who you are, and they shouldn't reject you. And if they do, then that's just, it's unfortunate, but you know, most parents do come around in the end. Third is workplace and workplace or school, or both in some instances. College, uni, I don't really think that matters. You know, people who you associate with at college and uni, they're going to know, you know, pretty much immediately when you meet them that, you know, you're gay, because by that time it's just something that isn't a big deal. Especially nowadays, everyone's pretty liberal on that front, and it really depends a lot on what you're majoring and whatnot. Like if you're doing something like liberal arts, or you're doing an arts degree, or you're doing, I don't know, law, people should be pretty liberal when it comes to law. You know, anything that kind of involves development, they should be chill. You know, it won't matter. And if they don't, then, you know, there are 80 whatever more people in the same course, in the same lectures as you, and then a whole other, they're just loads of people. And normally there are, you know, GSAs and stuff like that are part of university, and there are safe houses for people who are gay, so that's fine at uni. As for high school, it really matters what year you're in, and you need to establish what the school is like and whether or not they have a GSA. If they do, then you can associate with people who are like-minded and support people who are part of the LGBT whole umbrella spectrum thingy. So yeah. So basically, if you're in a school, I mean, public schools in Australia, they tend to be, because they're a lot bigger numbers, they tend to be not as accepting, because like groups happen and people are so unsure of themselves that they revert to bullying. So in that situation, it's probably not a good idea. Especially if you happen to just fit into a stereotype, because you will get bullied, and you want to just avoid that as much as possible. Even if it means, doesn't mean rejecting who you are, but it just means not being open to everyone, you know, and it can wait. It's not, you know, it's not the end of the world if people don't know when you're in high school. It really isn't. I'd say if you're waiting, if you know before, you know, year 11, year 12, I'm fairly safe to say that year 11 and 12, you know, junior, senior year, most people are really accepting, and you will be able to find a group of people who will accept you for who you are, so that's no problem at all. Alright, I'm going to head now. I hope that's helpful. I'll see you next week, and have an awesome weekend. Bye!